Alright, so I want to talk about relationship goals, loving yourself, and overall happiness. The first thing I want to talk about is the relationship goals, where the relationship you really should be focusing on is yourself. You want to make yourself better. You want to feel good. You want to have positive, good feelings in life. And you can really only attain that, especially with the media these days. And we're just inundated with so much things that you should focus on yourself. Put social media aside. Focus on yourself and everything will fall into place. And when I say focus on yourself, I also mean when you focus on yourself, you'll also focus on things that actually do matter, such as your family, your health, your mental space, your spirituality, your kids, how well you're doing at work. That is what you really want to focus on. Don't focus on things that really don't matter. If social media is not your business, then social media shouldn't really matter to you. Quit focusing on that aspect of your life, wasting time and many hours where you could be fulfilling yourself, making yourself a lot better than you yesterday or than you today. Rather than focusing on that, a lot of people are focusing on things that don't matter because social media has compelled us to believe that whatever social media says goes, whatever print media says, whatever the internet says, whatever people on Instagram say goes, whatever people on Facebook say goes, whatever these social media influencers on Twitter say goes. Wherever they are, people are really believing them without backed up facts. People are believing what they say to a fault. People are looking at them for inspiration, which isn't wrong. Yeah, of course, if you feel somebody's factual and good, yeah, then look at them for inspiration. But people need to also look at themselves, look at bettering themselves so then they become the inspiration for themselves. Look at bettering or improving on your goals. Look at bettering yourself daily, whether that be physically, mentally, spiritually. Look at that rather than focusing on social media, focusing on relationships that will fail. It says 99% of relationships fail. That is a fact. If you don't believe me, think about all the relationships you had maybe growing up, or in grade school, or high school, in college. How many of those relationships are you in now? If you're single, then none of them. So all those relationships failed. If you're in one right now, well, look back at all the relationships you had before. They all failed, right? That's why you're in this relationship right now. So would you say that being in those past relationships, it was a waste of time? Yeah, some would say so. Others would say it's a learning experience. Others might be indifferent about it. As long as you learn, yeah, it could not be a complete waste of time. But if it was just things that had a negative spin or aspect to it, people doing negative things to you, bad things to you, putting you out, making you lose time with your family, you're getting estranged from your friends, missing time at work, then that would be a very bad situation to be in. That would be a bad relationship. For example, I knew a guy where he was in a relationship, and whenever he was in a relationship, we always knew because then he just started missing time at work. He's not coming on Friday, not even call, not coming on Monday, not even call. The reason was because his girlfriend would tell him, oh, don't go to work today, or don't go to work Monday. Well, what was the end result of that? He told me that's what was happening with him, and as all these other jobs he got fired from because he kept on doing this, and eventually he got fired from the job that we were at together because he still perpetuated the behavior of skipping out on work because he was in a relationship. Not saying that all relationships are bad, but his specific situation was not good. fact, it was bad. What I say is focus on yourself, on your well-being, and things will follow. Focus on producing something. Focus on your passions in life. Focus on bettering yourself. You can do it several ways. You can do this either with SR. You can start a business. You could, learn how to cook, how to bake, go to the gym more often, or go to the gym at all. Whatever it is that you can replace a focus on social media and relationships, then do that. Not saying that all relationships are bad, but it's 2020. There's a lot of people who have a skewed mentality towards life and towards things, where instead of being virtuous, people these days are not being virtuous. People these days feel as if it's just normal to tell lies. People these days feel it's okay to trick, fool, con somebody out of their money, out of their time. Fool somebody and laugh at them because they thought this was happening or this is going to happen, yet it was all a con, it was all a farce. They think it's funny that you hurt yourself. They think it's funny when they hurt others. This is what the world's coming to right now. So this is why I say focus on yourself, not relationships. Stop pursuing women. Focus on an idea. Perfect that idea. And once that idea is perfected, you will notice that women start focusing on you. Women can pick up when a man is on their purpose. They can tell. You don't have to tell it to them. They can always tell when a man is on their purpose, and that is attractive to them. So stop pursuing a woman. Stop treating women like celebrities, because then they will treat you like a fan. If you chase after one, you keep calling her, if you keep texting her, the more you text and call her, the more she does not want to answer you or delay the answering of your messages. In fact, the more you text and call them, the more they feel as though they should not reply, and the more you get knocked down on the level of attraction that they have for you. This is why I say focus on yourself. Stop getting shit tested by people you're in relationships with, whether it be a big shit test, a small shit test, whether it be them shit testing you or shitting on you by not replying to your messages, not answering your calls. Don't do transactional relationships where you're providing something for them to even speak to you. I think relationships or interactions should be more natural overall. And once you get that natural relationship, once you get somebody who's not shit testing you, once you have your boundaries, because there has to be boundaries between two people, once you get that, then you know you're in a really relationship. And that these days is getting harder and harder to find. There's just a lot of people who, like I said, have been brainwashed. Social media, TV, movies is doing a lot of brainwashing these days in terms of how people interpret things and interpret life. I know this for a fact because if, let's say, a really famous movie comes out and let's say one of the Fast and the Furious movies, I think it was 4 or 5, they were driving BMWs in like the last chase scene. All of a sudden, BMW's sales spiked. We had those Mini Coopers in one of those movies with a chase with the tunnels. Mini Cooper sales spiked. But one of the Kardashians started dyeing their hair gray. Then everybody's dyeing their hair gray. They say something is good or something is bad. Then everybody thinks something is good and something is bad. Celebrities these days have a lot of power to kind of change your mentality, where It's not even based on any facts. No facts to back it up. They just say something and people just believe. And that's kind of scary. Feel we should step back, think for ourselves, build on ourselves, focus on ourselves a bit more. Hold off on the relationships until you know it's a great relationship, or that you feel that you are able to get into a great relationship, and focus more on ourselves. That is what we need to do.